So Familia Torres is super well known, no, as wine producers for more than 100 years. But for brandies, actually, we are going to celebrate 100 years in 3 years now. No? So the first elaboration was in 1928. So we are going to accomplish 100 years. It's such a challenge for us, no, to continue respecting the tradition but try to innovate. But for us being located in the Penedès region near Barcelona, we are middle term between Cognac and Armagnac region, no, and Sherry region. So our brandies, they have a profile that they are not as sweet as Sherry, but not as dry as Armagnac and Cognac region. No? So we are perfectly balanced between sweetness and dryness, and this is one thing that it's characteristic, no, for Torres brandy in the Penedès region. It has exactly the same elaboration process and values that we are using or elaborating with wines. No? We do seek excellent quality always, so this is our main priority. And we do also do our brandies, same as wines, by respecting the environment. No? So this is one thing that for Familia Torres is crucial nowadays. So we do take care of earth and we elaborate our brandies, same as wines, without affecting our climate, our weather. And at the end, it's trying to minimize the impact that our elaboration has on the earth, no? And this is crucial for us. This is, I would say, the main value, no, for the company. Familia Torres cares about earth, about the climate change. We try to mitigate our emissions, for example. So in brandies, we follow the same rules that applies for wines, no? This is our main concern, I would say.
Okay, thanks. I have just one question that is not here. Do you think that everyone respects that? Like every region respects the environment, the impact on the environment?
It's actually a good question. No? Nowadays, you can find some companies or some policies that they try to greenwash their processes and their elaboration. But for us, it's super strictly that we've been developing for many, many years. Now it seems that it's starting to become a trend, a global trend, no? That everybody is worrying about climate change and so on. But we've been doing it since 28. So it's going to be 20 years for us, no? So we do have the experience, we know how to do it. And majority of our investments are focused or targeting our production lines, no? So we can be more effective, more efficient, and we reduce the impact that we have on the climate, no? So this is crucial, as I mentioned before, for Familia Torres. That region, we are using two systems. First of all is the Solera system, or the most important one, and then we do have aging, aesthetic aging system, no? So in Armagnac Cognac region, you can find cognacs that are elaborated under the aesthetic aging system, and in Sherry region you can only find, in most of cases, Solera system. But in El Penedès we combine both worlds. So we take the best of Solera system aging and the best of aesthetic aging system, no? So Solera aging, it's a method that it's been for hundreds of years now. So we do mix blends of brandies or wines on the first row, and then with time and oxygenating of the liquid, it goes row by row until the solera. Solera means in Spanish, solera is suelo, it's floor level. No? So you do have different levels, and the brand new liquid it's on the top, and then it's aging through time and through oxygen. It's affecting the liquid until you got the final blend on the solera row. No? So this final blend that you got after maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, this is the final liquid that the master distiller can work with. No? With this solera liquid that you find on the bottom of the pyramid, this is the blend that the master distiller is gonna use, and it's gonna be bottled, no? Later on. So it's crucial, no? Under the Solera system. And then the static aging, meaning that the liquid ages in the same barrels for a specific amount of time, no? 5, 10, 15 or 20 years, no? And this is a completely different elaboration method under the Solera, giving the liquid another characteristic, another profile, no? Oxygen is affecting the whole liquid, the whole barrel at the same time, no? Meaning that the liquid is not evolving as fast as in the Solera method. So completely different techniques, but both are crucial to elaborate one profile or another, no? Actually, brandy is one of the oldest categories in spirits. If I had to say, it was the first one. Brandy comes from the word brandy, means brandy vin. It was wines that were distillated, or strict wines that alcohol was added to the barrels, so they, within transport, they could conserve the wine in better state, no? So brandy was like a mix between still wines and alcohol, just for preservation. And from that, in the 16th century, brandy was originated because you had wine fermented, and then you had a natural distillation within the barrel, no? So at the end, brandy is an old-fashioned category, the first one in spirits world, but nowadays is, I would say, stabilized. It's not so popular anymore as 30 years back, but nowadays for brandy makers, we have a challenge to how do you innovate within the category, no? How do you impact younger people? You know that with this no alcohol or low alcohol or light spirit drinks, this is a thing that's rising, but the regular consumption is like stabilized, no? So up to this point, we are trying to innovate within the category, but trying to approach these younger generations that they do prefer maybe light drinks with not so high ABV. So this is quite a challenge for the industry, I wouldn't say, no? And us as Familia Torres, we try to be innovative, and we do search new products within the brandy category, but maybe at some point we should go look outside the category of brandies, no? For us as a spirit division within the company, we are innovating with vermouths, with whiskies, with piscos, no? So we are like brandy makers, and we've been doing for nearly 100 years, but now we try to explore new categories, no? Outside this old-fashioned category that we've been working with for many years. Actually, it depends. We do have a wide variety and range of products, from Torres 5 to Jaime Primero, no? More on the more oriented for off-trade, looking for volumes, and more oriented super premium high-end SKUs. But it depends. For example, with Torres 5 or Torres 10, you should be mixing it and using it for mixology, but you could also be drinking it neat, no, or with ice. But there are other SKUs that we understood that, okay, we should create some products or some new brandies more oriented for the on-trade, for cocktail bars, no, and for mixology. For example, Torres 15 or Torres 20, these are super good to be paired, no, and to redesign all cocktail or traditional cocktails, but with brandy, no. Instead of using whiskey, you could use a brandy, or instead of using a tequila, you could use a Cristalino brandy, no? So at the end, it's giving a different profile, but it pairs super well. And then I would propose always pair it with food, always, no? So at the end, makes sense, no? That you can pair a good drink with good food. That's excellent, no?
Okay, and which type of food, for example?
It depends. For example, if you are having a Torres 15 that has a silky profile, then you should be looking for foods that are not affecting the after palate. So you should be if you are having a silky or more bitter drink, in this case, you should be looking for soft foods. So the mixture is not mixed at all, and you should be looking this balance, no? If you are having a spicy drink, you should be looking for spicy food, no? So it makes sense that you try to find the perfect balance and combine it, no? Sometimes there are other times, no, that you can have contrast, but you should be looking to pair it with similar food or similar taste, no, or the aftertaste of the drink. If I will need to introduce someone to the brandy category, I would propose Torres 5 or Torres 10. Super easy to drink, and if we think of a brandy of El Penedès, the region where we are elaborating all our brandies, they are not as sweet as sherry, as I mentioned before, and not as dry as a cognac or armagnac, no? So a perfect balance and brandy from El Penedès should be Torres 5 or 10. Then, of course, you have more complex brandies like 15, 20 that they are aged for nearly 20 years, or Jaime Primero, no? Nearly 30 years of aging, but these are more complex and require maybe a little bit more of expertise or knowledge, no, of the category. But as an entry level, Torres 5 or Torres 10, I would say.